Now I'm recording. Well, you got it. You got your half at least.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to just listen to my half of that. Movie.
Hi, Jake.
Hi, Craig. Welcome to
Hey.
Movied. We are a podcast about movies, and I'm Jake Jarvie.
And I'm Craig Benzine. I have been podcasting a lot with someone else the past year.
Yeah, you have.
On a little podcast called Two Guys Talking About Lettuce. So excuse me if I call you Greg every once in a while.
That's fine.
Or,
I will respond to whatever you want to call me, you know?
Also, if I pick apart all the things you say in a very meticulous and mean way.
Okay. No, I think that would be a nice change of pace because usually
Yeah.
I'm the one being mean to you.
We're usually mean to each other, I think.
Welcome to Movied. This time we are going to do the top 10 of 2022 according to Movied. Craig's 5 and my 5. There might be some overlap. There might not be. We'll find out.
There might be some underlap.
Well, I for a fact know that there is at least one overlap. So we'll see where that goes.
Where have we been? What have you been doing the past many months, Jake?
I've been working for Rob Scanlon. I have been a father to a child, a husband to a wife.
You are burying the lead, sir. Sir,
And
you are burying the lead.
And I made a feature film.
Yes, you did. See
Yeah.
that? There it is.
Yep, and I'm 56 minutes into editing right now. I've just sat down and edited for 56 minutes. No, I have 56 minutes of the rough cut of the movie put together. So I made a movie, and it's been life changing. It completely changed my life and perspective.
Yeah, what's your perspective now?
How
do you feel about making movies now?
I still love it. It's way harder than I thought it was based on the things I'd made previously.
Well, each project's different. Maybe the next one will be a cakewalk.
Maybe. I mean, you were in the movie, Craig. You were in the movie.
I was in the movie.
What happened to you in the movie, Craig?
Well, do you want me to say?
Yeah.
My head got chopped off.
Chopped Craig's head off.
Yep. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. I had a good time.
Finally.
That was the first shoot. And then it was just a bunch of not getting my head chopped off after that.
Yeah.
Which was fun.
It's actually more fun to shoot not kill sequences, actually. Kill sequences are very, very stressful. And then shooting, so it was a horror movie. I made a horror movie. It's called Haunt Season. I hope to have it in festivals in 2023. It was great.
The most fun for me to shoot are just the moments when I get to be funny. That's when it's most fun.
Yeah. Your character wasn't... we don't have to get into... This isn't a Haunt Season podcast. This is...
Jake, this is whatever we want. This
top
is
10
dudes,
movies.
This is two dudes talking about stuff they do. That's what this is.
Right. No. It's about two dudes talking about the movies that they've watched, which we are going to do. Let's do the movie top 10.
Okay.
It's been a very good year of movies. I've enjoyed many a movie. I can tell you, just popping into my letterbox, it was a slow year for me. I only watched 150 new movies. Not new movies that I've seen. I saw 150 movies this year.
That's a lot.
55 of them were released in the year 2022.
That's a lot of movies, Jake. You watch more movies than I do, I think.
Yeah,
I spend a lot of time watching Taskmaster with China. We spend a lot of time.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
I had a really slow few months as making a movie took over from watching movies, and then I've been trying my darndest to catch up since then.
Yeah, I didn't keep as close track of what I watched, but I guarantee it was less than 50 movies.
Nice.
But I think you will be a little surprised at some of my choices.
I'm excited. Okay,
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, then I'm
Based
excited.
on
I'm
previous conversation.
excited to hear. Would you start with number 5 then? You made me too excited. I want to hear.
Okay, because I have several runners up that I'll mention later because I don't want to give away what is in and what isn't.
I have my 6 through 10 as well.
Yeah.
I can tell you this. In my letterbox, I didn't give a single movie 5 stars, 5 out of 5, which I was surprised by. But I gave 10 movies 4.5 stars out of 5. And then I just ranked them in terms of my favorites before starting here.
Here's the thing. I made a list of potential movies, and several of them were toss-up for me. It was pretty hard to choose which was better, so I ended up going probably with either just one that might be lesser known that I wanted to talk about,
Sure.
and one that and a few that just I'm more likely to watch again. It just made me feel good.
Yeah, and my entire top 10 and the rankings attributed to them are definitely just personal favorites. They're not like, I think this movie is a better, made object or whatever. It is just, this is what hit me the hardest personally.
I'm expecting a lot of horror from you.
This year there's a lot of horror, yeah.
Just like last year. I mean, I love horror. I love it.
Oh, you love it.
Yeah.
You love it.
I will tell you, none of mine are horror films.
Okay.
So be prepared to be disappointed, Jake.
Absolutely.
Here's number 5, and it surprises me that I put it there. I made my list, and then I went through looking up best of lists to remind myself what I watched. And this came up on one of those, and I'm like, oh yeah, that one. And then it bumped others off the list. It was on Netflix. I watched it while working out.
Okay.
And because I usually am like, I gotta watch something, and I make a quick decision, and it was Good Luck to You, Leo Grande.
Oh, okay. That's the Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson, yes.
Yeah.
Emma Thompson and a dude. I can't remember his name.
Did not see it. Tell me about it.
It is. I think it's based on a play. It's a cast of 2 people with one tiny role, third person at one point. Not a small person, but a tiny role. Yeah. I'm not saying a particularly large person either. Just like a tiny role.
You've really got to couch this opinion on this person's size.
Yeah. But it's basically Emma Thompson is she's a widow. She was married. Her husband died, and she gets a sex worker.
Oh.
For the first time ever in her life, and she led kind of a sheltered life.
Sure.
And it's basically they're meeting the first time and the awkwardness of all of that, and then they're meeting the second time months later, and then they're meeting the third time, and drama happens throughout.
Okay. And we see nothing of their lives in between when they meet up, and they just kind of catch up and evolve as people.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes. It is delightful and dramatic, and at times it's very talky. It's like a play. Basically.
That's great. Is it funny?
But it can. Yeah, I mean it's real, but it's like there's definitely funny parts to it.
Sweet. Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. My number sounds good.
It made me want to be a
sex worker.
a 70-something widow.
Oh, okay. I thought it made you want to be a gigolo.
Yes, it also made me want to do that. And it made me want to be a third person that may be too small or too big.
Yeah. That's how I live my life. Too small, too big. Don't know.
Yeah.
My number 5 of the year was written and directed by a dude named Jordan Peele. It's Nope.
Yep.
I loved Nope. You saw Nope, right?
Yep. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It landed very nicely in between like the super in your face, like really well executed Get Out, and the more obtuse, very, very horror-y Us. Like it landed in a nice middle ground there. I loved how funny it was. I loved all the characters involved, and I loved the kind of commentary on industry and celebrity and obsession with entertaining.
Yeah, I would say it is kind of a combination of those two, but also I would say there's a third thing. It's like big spectacle.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Like
it's big spectacle stuff is awesome. I loved how it portrayed the eventual things that we're not going to go spoilers on any of these things, I don't think.
Okay.
Is my opinion. And
I wanted to spoil everything. I wanted to ruin everything for everyone, but we don't have to.
Where it goes, like the things that it shows us, I loved. I was like, yes, that's fantastic looking. I didn't expect anything to look like that, and I'm so happy it does.
Yeah, I think I thought it was fantastic too. One thing I loved was the dialogue felt like it was so odd. a lot throughout the movie. Like the way people were talking to each other was so like, it felt realistic in the way that like conversations can be incredibly awkward and people aren't saying things that make 100% sense, but they're just like emoting. Like the way people were just yelling at each other didn't make a whole lot of sense, but it was great. I mean, it was intentional, but
there was a making the rounds. I'm not sure if I saw it on Instagram or whatever. Did you see the guy who's not the main two characters, but the guy who works at Fry's Electronics? Did you see his audition tape?
No.
It's you have to watch it, Craig. It's so wonderful because he does his audition, he finishes audition. You just see, it's like a Zoom one. So you see him and you see Jordan Peele. Mm-hmm. And Jordan Peele's like, I really love what you're doing. And it's going to make it really, really hard for me because you do not fit the character as written. And the guy's like, oh, okay. And Jordan Peele's like, so I'm going to have to rewrite the whole character because it has to be you. And the guy gets so excited and his roommate is like helping him with the self-tape. And it's just really, really, it's adorable, dude.
It does feel like he took the actors and just brought out their personalities in each, which is what I mean by it feels so odd. Like it's like he just threw these personalities at each other and kind of let them say what they wanted to. Like how they felt. And that's how it feels anyway.
God, great movie. I'm going to watch it again. What's your number 4?
My number 4 bumped out some stuff. Like, I'm surprised I decided on this one, but it's like, I would rather watch this again. I had such a good time with it. Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I saw the trailer at almost every movie I saw in the theater in 2022. Well, the first half. And it was good. It was good. Yeah,
it's Nicolas Cage as himself.
Yeah.
And action comedy. It's like like it reminded me of like a 90s high concept action comedy, like Last Action Hero or like
it's big spoofy like that?
Yeah, I think so. But also like moments of real suspense and like meta comedy, like Doc Hollywood, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Or Doc Hollywood's a good comparison, I think. Or like it's about Hollywood and it's
wait, no, you're talking about you're not talking about Doc Hollywood. You're talking about
Doc Holliday.
The Hard Way. You're talking about The Hard Way.
The Hard Way. Yeah, what's Doc Hollywood?
Michael J. Fox and James Woods.
Yeah, what's Doc
Hollywood is Michael J. Fox goes to a small town and runs into a fence, so he has to be their doctor. He's a plastic surgeon, but he has to be the doctor. It's a great movie.
I'm not even sure I've seen that.
Oh, Doc Hollywood is charming as
maybe I have seen that.
Dude,
yeah.
It's so good.
I've been conflating the two of those for decades now in my head.
Because it has Hollywood in the title. The Hard Way is about an actor who has to shadow
I'm thinking of The Hard Way. Yes, it's kind of like The Hard Way. In that it's like very meta Hollywood, but there's real action with real suspense in it.
Yeah, and he learns the stakes. This soft-handed actor has to learn the real stakes of being a real cop in New York City.
Yeah, and it's very similar with Nicolas Cage, and it's like there's like a backstory of Nicolas Cage's personal life and being like drawn to his work versus his family and stuff, and like it feels pretty real, even though it probably isn't real.
I gotta see it. Yeah. That one looks super fun. I wonder, is it on any of the streaming services yet? I'll find out. You don't have to answer that, Craig.
All right, I won't answer that. But it was just fun. Like I feel like it's silly. It's obviously very silly, but like I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Awesome. My number 4 is Barbarian, written and directed by Zach Cregger. Have you heard of Barbarian?
Never in my life have I heard of. I've not even heard of a Barbarian in my life.
Oh, there were several back in the day. This one is a movie that came out in 2022. It was everybody on film Twitter was talking about it while I was making Haunt Season. So I was like, I can't. As soon as I'm done, I'm gonna watch Barbarian, and I did on HBO Max. And it is about a young woman. She is in she goes to Detroit for a job interview. She pulls up to this Airbnb and the key is not in the thing. And she's like, oh, God, okay. And it's raining and it's dark and can't tell. So she goes and she sees somebody in the Airbnb and she knocks on the door and he comes and he's like, yeah, what's up? What's going on? And she's like, I rented this Airbnb. And he's like, no, I rented this Airbnb. I'm staying here. And she's like, look, here's my thing. She rented it on one app. He rented it from a different home sharing app. And he's like, okay, why don't you come in? We'll figure this out. We'll call them, whatever. She goes in and they start trying to figure it out. They can't get a hold of anybody. Nothing. He's like, look, you can have the bedroom. I'll sleep on the couch. This is obviously some big mistake. And she's like, I don't know about this guy. And it's played by Bill Skarsgård, who plays Pennywise in the new It. He is a great actor, but he always has that thing about him where you're like, can we trust you? Yeah. And so she stays there. And the next morning she gets up to go to her job interview and she is in you couldn't tell at night in the rain, but she is in the only like livable house in the area. Everything else is just like torn down and falling apart. It's like Detroit after all the business. It's a bad neighborhood in Detroit.
Yeah.
And then she
don't spoil it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Worse or better, she ends up exploring the basement of the Airbnb. Things go from bad to worse, and it gets crazy. And then halfway through the movie, Justin Long shows up, and you're like, it's Justin Long! And he is hilarious and playing a part that you would never imagine Justin Long playing ever. And he's great in it, and he's hilarious, but he's also, well, I won't say anything else. Barbarian becomes a crazy, crazy movie. It is a straight up horror movie. Make no mistakes. It is a horror movie. And some people don't super like how big it goes towards the end, but I do.
Yeah, you like going big.
Yeah.
You never go home.
Even when I'm home, I go big.
You're not even home right now. That's a set.
Yep, this is all green screen.
Yeah.
All green screen.
I think I vaguely remember something about Barbarian, but I don't really know. I don't know. I probably just saw that it was horror, and I'm like, no, I'll check it later.
It was a lot.
I'll wait and see if Jake likes it.
Got a lot of hubbub, and it was like number one at the box office for like a couple of weeks, and it's this small movie.
Yeah.
Really, really. Man, I loved it.
I'm intrigued. I'm actually intrigued now, and I'm gonna have to watch that. All right.
What's your number 3, Craig?
Number 3. This one was easily my number 3. Emily the Criminal.
Again, have heard, have not seen. Tell me about it.
It's Aubrey Plaza, and it's very low budget. I guess you could say it's like a commentary on hustle culture and just trying to make a living as a young person in the world.
Okay.
She works as a like food delivery person for like a service, like an app or something, and has an opportunity to do some illegal stuff to make more money because she has none basically. And I would call it a thriller probably.
Okay.
Very, very tense, very good. It's just a really well told story. I love how subtle it is at times and how perfectly done, and her performance is wonderful. Like I feel like she's probably gonna get an Oscar nomination for it. She should.
I can't wait to see. Like Aubrey Plaza is the best. I cannot wait. I've got to see Emily the Criminal.
Yes, you do. It's just a well-told, tight, tense thriller. Loved it.
Awesome. Definitely checking that one out. My number 3, another horror movie, is called The Menu.
Yes, that's a movie I've been meaning to see, actually. I have not seen it.
I wrote down these people's names because I don't know everybody's names. It was directed by Mark Millard and written by Seth Rice and Will Tracy. And I always like to call out writers, directors. I loved The Menu. I love Anya Taylor-Joy. She stars in it. Ray Fiennes is incredible in it. So this is, okay, it starts with a bunch of people getting on a boat, heading out to a very, very exclusive dinner. It's like thousands of dollars a plate, a seat, not a plate, a seat, because it's a multi-course menu. And when they sit down to it, it's clear everything about this menu is super conceptual. It's applying to not just, like, he talks about the food in a way that it all relates to a larger story of the chef's life and kind of trying to be an artist in a disposable field, a culture where you need like investors to allow you to do the thing that you want to do, and do you make concessions to that? And it's like this much larger story with really beautiful food photography in it, and all of the food looks exceptional, and it's funny, but it's like darkly funny, and it's disturbing, and it's said a lot about, to me, it might have also just kind of hit at the right time. I saw it like right after finishing the movie. It says a lot about choosing a life of pursuing hard to do creative things.
Yeah.
So like the life of creativity and the sacrifices that it calls upon you to make, and are those things worth it, and are they not? And my gosh, I really, really loved it. The end is a little bit, it moves, a lot of it feels very realistic to a degree. You know, it's very stylish, beautifully shot. Everything, it looks super expensive. But like, by the end, they start leaning more into the metaphor of everything, but not in like a really obtuse way, but in a way where you're like, yeah, I don't know that character would super do that, but it works for the metaphor, you know?
Okay.
And I will be fascinated to hear what you have to say about the menu. I'm very excited for you to watch the menu. More than anything else on my list, I would like you to watch the menu.
I've been wanting to watch the menu. China actually brought it up to me. She wanted to watch it, which is rare for her to even bring up that she wants to watch a movie. But then other movies came out that we watched instead.
Yeah.
Like Glass Onion and like more sure, like something more guaranteed we were gonna like.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But okay, should I do my number 2?
Yes, please.
Also, easily my number 2. Number 2 and number 1, and 1, 2, 3 were easy for me. So 2 is The Fabelmans. Speaking of creative life and what leading to problems and such.
Yeah, I wondered if it was gonna make your 5. I'm glad it did.
Oh yeah. I mean, for a time there was a debate whether it'd be number 1.
Oh, wow.
I didn't think I was gonna like it that much. I thought it'd be. I saw the trailer. I'm like, it's Spielberg being all sentimental and crap about this time about himself.
Yeah.
What the hell, man? Yeah, it's basically it's Steven Spielberg's childhood, leading up to his first opportunities in Hollywood.
Very much focused on his parents' marriage.
His parents, yeah, and his difficulties with his parents and their difficulties with their marriage, and his difficulties with bullying in school. There were a few times where he went full Spielberg a little too much for me, like some monologues were like, okay, we can move on. But it's so full of such great stuff that I haven't stopped thinking about it since we saw it, and like I went on a Spielberg bender after that. Like I watched the documentary Spielberg on HBO.
How was that?
I've been watching like making of stuff on YouTube. It's good. It's a great documentary. And it's kind of reinvigorated. It reminded me of watching his movies as a kid and being inspired to make movies. And so it had a profound effect on me, I think.
Yeah.
And oh my God, the ending, the last shot.
Oh, dude, there's not a better shot in cinema this year. That entire ending sequence, culminating in that final shot, which does something you will never see in another Spielberg movie. It's so but it's so beautiful. I get chills every time I start talking about that shot, Craig. I was talking about it with my family over the Christmas break the holiday, Eleanor's Christmas Break, and whenever I talk about that shot, all the hairs on my arm stand up. I get I get so excited.
Same thing happened to me talking to China about it. I showed her the ending actually on YouTube, but yeah, real good, better than the trailer makes it look, I think.
Yeah, great movie, movie, loved it.
Oh, Seth Rogen was fantastic in it.
Yep.
Wow.
Just good. Paring it back, playing a very straight, like, dad joke kind of guy. He's not like overly Seth Rogen funny. He's just playing the part. He does that. He does that for the big guys, the big directors.
Yeah, and what's his name? Judd Hirsch, or Jed?
Oh, I think it's Judd. Hirsch.
Yeah,
playing the wacky uncle.
Yeah, so good. I think several times, but at that particular time, I leaned over to the person I was watching it with and said, like, "This is great," or something. And that was you. Actually.
That was me. Yes, I remember you saying that. Yeah, which is just nice too. Yeah. We got to see a movie in the theaters together in 2022.
Yep,
one of them. Mm-hmm. It was nice. I loved that movie. And did you listen to the Blank Check episode on it?
No, I did not.
Okay,
but I have listened to several episodes of Blank Check.
Yes, good podcast.
Sure is.
My number 2. We're on number 2.
Yep.
My number 2 is Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Mm-hmm. It is a great movie. I just listened to, I'm sure many people are already familiar with it. Family owns and operates a laundry mat. And all of a sudden, kind of reality starts bending. So you kind of see alternate versions of what their lives could have been, alternate realities of what life means or life could mean. Like it's impossible to summarize. I cannot summarize it for Eliza. I have not been able to.
It's a lot of multiverse hijinks with a lot of incredible choreographed fighting and the most absurd humor you could possibly have. Like it goes beyond bonkers.
It goes beyond bonkers, but it also keeps the emotional resonance intact while going beyond bonkers.
All of it is like a metaphor for, like, similarly to the Fabelmans, similarly, I guess, to the Menu. It's like choosing the life you want versus your responsibilities as a family.
Yeah.
And her relationship with her daughter and her husband, and oh my God, it's good.
It's absolutely incredible. And I listened to the Daniels. So that's written and directed by Daniel Scheinert and Daniel Kwan, the Daniels. I loved their first movie, Swiss Army Man. That similarly was so absurd and somehow beautiful. The way that they can do these things is incredible. And Craig, just because it's such a runner on this movie podcast, I got to tell you, I listened to the Daniels on an episode of Script Notes. They kind of talk about the whole process of conceiving the movie and how to do it all and everything. And Craig Mazin and John August, the hosts of Script Notes, are so complimentary, and they love the movie and they love the Daniels, and they get into all the music video stuff, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But they said, one of the Daniels, I don't know which one, said, we love movies like that have so many ideas, that are just bursting with ideas, like a Southland Tales. But we wanted to see if we could do a Southland Tales but stick the landing. So since Southland Tales is so often invoked on this podcast, I thought I should let you know that the Daniels themselves invoked it. Yeah.
See, that movie was Southland Tales. From what I remember, I hated it.
Yeah.
And like a movie that can have a lot of ideas that doesn't stick the landing usually does not work for me. Like I just can't. I can't. It makes me mad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I know this about you, and but this absolutely sticks the landing. I cried hard, like probably a few times during Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, I think I did too. Should I give you my number 1?
Yeah, what's your number 1, Craig?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes,
my number
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's a movie about the multiverse.
Oh, okay.
It has the kid from Temple of Doom in it.
Yes, it does.
And he's incredible.
He's great.
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh's incredible. Everybody in that movie. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Letting it all hang out.
Oh, so you've seen it?
Yeah, I did. I saw that movie as well.
Okay.
I don't know the name of the actress who plays their daughter, but she is
she's
amazing.
And she's in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. She's Mrs. Maisel's ex-husband's new woman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's Joel's new lady?
Yeah. Have you seen it?
I have not. I haven't seen I watched whatever season ended with her not getting on the plane.
It took me a while to figure out where I'd seen her before because she seems much older in that. And then
sure.
In this,
they
she's
style
like
her
kid.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I every once in a while I will just be walking through my day and it'll pop into my head and I'll be like, sucked into a bagel. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, I've only seen it once. I got to see it again.
Yeah, I have to see it again too. Eliza has to see it. Yeah. And we were just talking about this today as I was going through what my top 5 were going to be. And I was like, and she was like, you haven't talked to me a whole bunch about it, unlike the other movies. And I'm like, because I can't describe it to you. Like, I can't be like, my problem with summarizing it for this podcast is the same in my life. I want Eliza to see it because I think she will love it. And I just cannot, I don't know how to describe it to her. And she saw Swiss Army Man, so she knows what I'm up against. But yeah.
You know what's interesting about it is like how it was actually pretty low budget and relatively low budget. And it starts out like you're watching a low budget foreign film, basically.
Yeah.
It feels like.
Yep.
It takes a while before it really ramps. But you're like, isn't this movie supposed to be bonkers off the wall? And it's just like this family running a shop for a while.
Yep.
And it's about taxes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It took its time to develop everything. It was great.
And then my number 1 is a movie called Fresh. Have I already talked to you about Fresh?
You talked to me about Fresh.
Very good.
Yeah.
Fresh is a movie that I saw when it dropped onto Hulu. It did not get, if it got a theatrical, it was tiny, tiny, tiny. But it might have been one of those ones that Hulu just picked up as an exclusive. It is about this girl named Daisy, or it's directed by Mimi Cave, written by Lauren Kahn, and stars Sebastian Stan, who prior to 2022, I did not care about at all, because I had only, to my knowledge, seen him in Marvel movies, and I don't care about Captain America's buddy at all.
Yeah.
What's his name?
The Falcon?
Falcon. No, not the Falcon. The Falcon and he's the other one. The Winter Soldier.
The Winter Soldier. Bucky Barnes.
Bucky Barnes, yeah. I did not care at all about Bucky. I was like, Bucky, get out of here.
Yeah.
And then this year, back to back, I saw Pam and Tommy, which he's incredible in, and then bada bing, bada boom, Fresh. And it was like, he's so good in it. Okay, so this young woman played by Daisy something something. She's got 3 names, and
that's 3 names. Daisy something something.
Oh, okay, yes. She's charming as all get out. She's shopping in a grocery store. She has this brief interaction with this handsome young man, played by Sebastian Stan, and they kind of decide to go out, give it a try, they're gonna go out on a date, whatever. Their chemistry is really, really good, and it feels very real. It feels like you're watching a solid rom-com at the beginning of the movie. She agrees to go away with him for the weekend. He takes her to this lovely house that's out in the middle of nowhere. Very, very...
Are you getting into spoiler territory?
No. Okay. This all happens before the title.
All right.
The title does drop about a half hour into the movie. It's incredible. I was so jazzed when I saw them drop a title card so late into a movie.
Yeah.
You need to know this to go into the movie, Craig. So
do you?
Yes. Yep. So you need to know what movie you're getting into. He drugs her. She wakes up in basically a prison cell, a very upscale prison cell. With not bars or anything. It's just a room with a mattress in it. And turns out he captures women and then cuts sections of them off to sell to people who want to eat human flesh at very high prices. Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
It sounds like another horror movie that I haven't seen, but I know all about, called The Audition.
Audition that's a big one. That's different That's very, very different from this. Because then what happens is once she discovers his whole thing is... No, Craig, no. Once she discovers what his whole thing is, then she has to start kind of pretending to be into it to like kind of charm him into not killing. It's so... There's so many like interpersonal dynamics at play. It's really amazing, beautifully shot, and beautifully acted. I loved it so much. Fresh on Hulu. I highly recommend checking it out if you can handle a little bit of cannibalism. This also is like with the like upscale market thing. Like he does this for uber rich people to on the black market purchase parts of humans to consume.
Well, rich people can do what they want.
Exactly. That's a running theme in a lot of the movies this year as well.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, I got some runners up.
Let's do it.
I'm going to list them.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick.
Heard of it?
Yep. Yeah, we talked about this. You don't want to watch it because you hate planes.
Yeah, planes, boring.
Yeah. All right. The Banshees of Inisherin.
That's true, though. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Planes are boring. Planes in movies, boring. Not
these planes, my friend. The Banshees of Inisherin, which is the dude who did In Bruges and three billboards.
Heard of that as well. I hear it's really, really good.
It is. It's good and it's a feel bad comedy. You could call it.
Great.
Or a feel bad dramedy. Nope is a runner up for me.
Nice.
And it's a movie by Jordan Peele. It's like
Heard
a big,
of that one.
Sort of big concept, like monster movie kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, oh yeah, he's the guy who did Get Out. You know. Okay. Yep. Anyway, Confess Fletch. I enjoyed it.
Was it good?
Yeah. I mean,
great.
It's exactly what you expect, and it's good. It's just awesome. John Hamm being Fletch, a journalist, with a scheming journalist with a big heart.
All right, awesome.
I guess a big heart. But it's funny. It's funny, good time. Kind of goofy. Doesn't all necessarily. It's confusing, very convoluted, confusing plot, but that's what I wanted.
Sure.
Glass Onion, also. Yep. Not like it's not quite as good as Knives Out, but nobody expected that.
Yeah.
But it was a great time.
Yeah, I'll take as many of those as Ryan Johnson wants to give us. I loved it.
Yeah, loved it too. And then Kimmy, the Soderbergh, the small budget Soderbergh, like his take on Rear Window, basically.
Yep. I listened to a couple of episodes of this podcast leading up to this because we did a couple of them at the beginning of the year, and you talked about Kimmy on that one. I'm glad it lasted for you. I had already seen it? Yeah.
At the time? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It came out right at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was reminded of it when I looked up the list of movies that would happen this year. I'm like, oh yeah, Kimmy.
Absolutely. Yep. We are going to get to our 6 questions in a second, which is going to be a little bit of a problem for me. My other 4.5-star reviews were this 6 through 10, Vengeance.
Yep.
I really, really liked. Again, a movie where toward the end they start going for the metaphor over what a character would reasonably do.
That's why it didn't make my list. Because I saw it, and I thought it was pretty darn good up until that point, and that kind of ruined it a little bit for me. Still good. Yeah. I'd still recommend it.
I loved it. BJ Novak wrote and directed it for Blumhouse. It was it's like a podcaster movie. Podcaster goes to do like a true crime podcast kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And at the beginning I was like, this is funny. I mean, it's got BJ Novak's like acerbic kind of wit, but is it going to be just this the whole time? And it becomes like surprisingly heartwarming as he kind of like falls in with small town folk, but not in a way that you normally see. It's not like, small towns are the best. It's like people in small towns have a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, we could do an episode about this movie, but like, because I had talked to China about it without spoiling anything. Like I would say, like the ending, he should have leaned more into his relationship with those people instead of the big metaphor of society.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I do. I think
because it didn't feel like it resolved itself. Like there was a falling out that didn't like have any payoff later. It just sort of was resolved in the end. Like I don't know.
I hear you. I like. I mean, I was shocked when they did the thing that they do.
Yeah.
But I also was like, okay, I'm vibing enough with the movie that I'll follow it there.
Yeah.
I
mean, I'd still recommend it. I still think it would be good. It's not. Often I say the endings ruin movies for me. This did not entirely ruin the whole movie for me. It's just tainted it a little.
Sure. But so Vengeance, check it out.
Yeah.
I would say check it out. Number 7's The Fabelmans.
Yes.
Absolutely makes the list. We already talked about that one. 8, we've already talked about. Glass Onion. Love it.
Yeah.
Number 9, Christmas comedy, Spirited.
Haven't
Will
seen
Ferrell,
it yet.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Great, hilarious musical, surprisingly. I'm not always into the musicals.
Yeah, but it's Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds musical. That's something else.
A new take on A Christmas Carol. The telling of A Christmas Carol. Great. Loved it.
Okay.
And then my last one was Turning Red, the Pixar movie.
Yep.
Really
Hadn't seen it.
really enjoyed it.
All right. So you like animation? That's not real.
Yeah, right? if it's not real and it's not based on something real, why do it? You know? That's not real.
That's why I chose only documentaries.
Yep, absolutely.
So, yeah.
All right. 6 questions.
Okay. Here's the thing. We each write down 3. I wrote down 4. I haven't decided.
Oh, Craig, amazing. I only have 2.
Okay. All right. Great.
Like, we decided to do this today a very short while ago. And I was like, what are some themes I can come up with, questions? And then I was like, ooh, I want to do another tagline game because I loved that. I was doing tagline games at the beginning of the year. Didn't have time to look up taglines. So I only have 2. 4 questions to you this time, 2 for me.
Okay, they're a little more like discussion builders, but let's.
Yeah, mine are 2. Let's do it.
Okay, first one. Inspired by Emily the Criminal, what's the worst crime you committed?
Ever? The worst crime I ever committed?
Not necessarily caught. It's a crime that you committed.
Yeah. Let's see. What have I done that's against the law? I've done some speeding.
What's that?
I've driven quickly. I've done some speeding.
I think that's what I will choose for me because that's the thing that would endanger other people the most. But I also true. Not just speeding. Like me and my friend grew up in a small town. There was nothing to do. We went out in the middle of the country and like sped really fast sometimes.
Sure.
And I regret that to this day. Like I can't believe how stupid that was.
Yeah. No. That is and reckless driving for sure. As a teenager was pretty bad.
Yep. Okay then. All right.
One of my questions is so Barbarian is a movie about 2 people renting the same Airbnb. That has been a plot line of several movies this year. That I saw, and I cannot recall what the other ones were at this moment. One of them was Adult Swim's Yule Log.
Okay.
A couple people rent the same Airbnb on different apps.
Yeah.
My question for you, Craig, is what was your very favorite Airbnb you ever stayed in? Why was it the best Airbnb, and where was it?
Oh, that's tough. I've been everywhere, man.
Yeah. You've been everywhere all at once.
A lot of Airbnbs in my lifetime. Okay, I'll just tell you about my most recent one. I don't know that it's probably not the best one, but the experience was great because we stayed in Logan Square in Chicago, our old neighborhood we used to live in. And it was a basement room set up that this older couple made for people to stay in, and while they stayed upstairs, and you were required to hang out with them once to have a conversation. And we were a little like weird about the conversation.
So they really brought the B&B aspect to this Airbnb experience.
Yeah,
wow.
But the room,
because at B&Bs you always have to. You always have to have that breakfast combo.
Yeah, but the room was really well put together. Just a small basement room. It had a bathroom. It was very modest, but all the amenities. They even had a waffle maker thing that you flip. Those things that we could make waffles with. They provided some chocolates from Trader Joe's that were really good. And a TV and it had everything you needed in a tiny little Airbnb. But then when we went upstairs to hang out with them, they had recently got the same EV car that we got, the same EV. And so we talked a lot about that. But they both, like, he makes a lot of, he does a lot of, like, metal work. Like, he's, like, an artist. They're both artists. Like, she has, like, all this ceramics and stuff throughout the whole house. We sat and we talked for, like, an hour, and it was amazing. They were the most adorable couple. I can tell why they want to talk to people, because they're like, we're awesome, and we want to share how awesome we are to other people. And so that's obviously the most fresh in my mind Airbnb. So
yeah, it also sounds amazing. Like a bunch of like artisanal ceramic and metalwork.
Yeah.
And just a pleasant conversation with some really nice folks.
Yeah, it was great. We talked about like what we do and like being creative and versus like it's same themes of the movies, like creativity versus responsibility and stuff. You know.
Did they have a kid?
Well, there wasn't a kid there. I don't remember if kids were brought up.
All right. Because that's a big part of a lot of these movies, too, is like the actual full family versus creativity.
Yeah.
Anyway, my favorite, you were there for, I loved the place that we stayed in Austin when we went to Austin Web Fest.
Oh.
Like, that place was just like a little, like, compound. It had a lovely shower. I love when a place has a great shower.
Yeah.
It had a lovely outdoor sitting space in the back that was fenced off, with some very lovely lights and a nice like long like hand-hewn table.
Yep.
The entire decor was super cool. It felt like an Austin place to hang out. And they also had a piano in there that you could mess around with. It was it was just a really fun trip in general, which might be kind of influencing my decision, but the vibe of that place was super duper cool.
Yeah.
I loved that Airbnb.
Yes, that is one of my favorites. That one didn't load up, but it's up there now. And it's up there. That's like top 3 at least. I'll have to think about it longer.
Oh, you know what though too?
Yeah.
Like we rented an Airbnb for this movie.
Oh yeah.
That Airbnb experience will be unreplicatable. That was a hugely rewarding, very, very stressful, but hugely rewarding and super duper fun part of the shoot. That like everybody felt like more hangouty.
Yeah.
We got all our work done still, but it felt like people were in more of a hangout mode at this like lake house.
I rented an Airbnb. My first Airbnb rental was my short film.
Okay.
Was for the short film.
Yeah,
and that was a pretty decent Airbnb. It was very paranoid about not breaking anything, but and I think we did end up scuffing a wall or something, but shh, don't tell anyone.
Yeah. So that was my Airbnb question. What's your next question?
What would be the plot of the movie of your life? Inspired by the Fabelmans?
It would. So the question then is he zeroed in on a very specific time in his life, how his parents' relationship kind of affected his career as a movie maker, but also how his passion for filmmaking allowed him to see more into his parents' relationship than probably he should have been able to. So what era of life would I like zoom in on right now? I mean, I talk about the pressure cooker of making a feature the whole time. So like maybe that's kind of like I've been waiting to do it my whole life. I finally got to do it. Like maybe that's the thing I hone in on. We still, if the movie's not out, it's not finished. We haven't had a chance to try to get it a distribution yet. So like there's so many questions left there. Pops, I mean, that's more of like a family and friends kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's
what
really
about
hard.
Your time in LA?
The time in LA, I mean, there's so many different very walled off periods of my life. So many things happened.
Yeah. Are you saying it's hard to get a cohesive narrative out of a person's life?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. What about you? What would you choose?
Revenge story.
Craig on fire.
Yeah, I didn't even know I was going to say that until the words came out of my mouth.
I love it.
Yeah. My camera is flat. There's a red thing flashing on my camera that it might be overheating. So at some point, the camera's probably going to shut off. But don't worry about that. Yeah.
I don't think I can record. Let me see if I can record. Start recording. Okay, so if your camera shuts off, I'll still at least have your half of the StreamYard here.
There you go. People need to see my face. They need to see my face. My lips move as I talk. Either a revenge story, or the beginning. Obviously, the beginning of my YouTube career, up until like 20 years from now, speculating on how I take over the world.
Oh, okay. No, see, that sounds fun. That's a good one. I like that a lot. Yeah, you start with just a dude in his apartment and a camera, and then it escalates.
And it's all but it's all real up until a point, until present day, and then it's like then it's made up. Future.
Did you see Weird? Did you see Weird, the Weird Al Yankovic movie?
I did not.
Okay.
Is that what that does? Does it speculate on the future?
It takes like the bare bones elements of a Weird Al biopic and then makes it super duper crazy.
But it doesn't speculate on the future, though, does it?
I don't think it. No, it doesn't. It's just an alternate.
That's an idea I just came up with just now, so I'm gonna do that.
Okay, good. Yeah. Good. I love it. I
think that's a funny idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got another one?
Oh, okay.
Oh no, that was what? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was your second question of 4. My other one is okay. So right here I have. So these are, again, it's gonna ask you to recall. So the menu and Fresh are both about very, very exclusive, very, very expensive menu items. What is the food item that you have paid the most for ever in a restaurant? You don't have to tell me what it was, how much you paid. You don't have to tell me the price, but what did you have that cost the most money?
I can't think of a single item. I can say the meal.
Oh, meal. Yeah.
Oh, we just did it in Chicago. Same trip. It was the reason we went to Chicago. Was we went to Oriole, it's called. I found a list of best restaurants in the world, and it was like 90th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so I'm like, oh, this is in Chicago. We should go here. So we booked, the whole trip was based around that, basically. And it was our anniversary. And it was by far the most expensive meal I've ever had. Like, by far. And I've had expensive meals before.
Yeah.
This was like more than double the most expensive I had previously. So I don't want to say how much it was.
Was it tasty?
It was incredible. It was like the best meal of my life. Afterwards,
was it worth the COVID?
Well, afterwards we went to a bar, a very crowded bar, and that's probably where we got COVID. But it was worth it.
You should go onto their Yelp reviews and be like, worth the COVID.
Yeah, it was like I don't know how many courses. Like it's like tiny plates, but several courses matched with cocktails with drinks. This was like fresh off of a year of no alcohol.
Yeah.
But the drinks pairing was incredible. Oh my god.
So mine is the same. It's kind of a cheat because we didn't have to pay for the meal, but it is the most expensive meal. So just like Eliza and I used to write food reviews. I don't know if we've ever talked about this for several magazines, upscale living magazines.
We've talked about this, but
I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
So we were the food reviewers for like 3 different magazines, and so we would go to these restaurants every month. The most expensive one was a restaurant within a restaurant. Okay, so there is a restaurant called Restaurant Michael in Winnetka, Illinois. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And within that restaurant there's a particular room that has a different name that I cannot recall right now. But it is one of these chef's choice tasting menus. Like, you don't get to say at all what you're going to eat. If you pay the super expensive price, you get 7 courses of the chef's small plates, several things. I had to actually talk to him afterwards to be like, you have to tell me how to describe this, because it's what's in this? Because it was so crafted. All, again, cocktail and wine pairings. It's like, it was such a fun experience. And insanely expensive.
Really, really good. Like, it's amazing how, like, you get this tiny little thing and it's like, that's it. And then you eat it and it's like, I probably wouldn't want more of this because it's such a jam-packed, full flavor in just this little bite. Like, it would be too much to have more than this little bit.
And the craziest thing about those we've done a couple, like, tasting menu things. This one was the most crazy. But, like, the craziest thing, too, is that 7 courses, drink pairings, and you walk out, you don't feel stuffed. You feel very pleasantly satisfied.
You
and happy.
You ate enough, but it wasn't. But you don't feel stuffed. It's great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's incredible. Yes. Thank you for answering that question.
Okay.
2 more questions from you, Craig.
See, I was just thinking I'd skip the third one because I don't like it that much. But I like it, but it's going to be a conversation. So describe for me I'll do the third one. Describe for me the perfect universe to live in.
Everyone lives at peace with one another. No one has to do labor in order to get by that is horrible. No horrible labor.
Basically here, but all the problems are solved.
Yep. What's yours? Hot dog fingers?
Hot dog fingers. Okay. Well, everyone's out for revenge. So, okay.
The Old West? Is it just the Old West?
Yeah, all of the above. I think we'll move on to the next question.
Okay.
Can you name the top 5 highest grossing films of 2022 worldwide?
Worldwide. Oh, wow.
It's not very different than domestic, but
this is interesting. I love this. Mm-hmm. This is a blank check question. Yeah. You're asking me a blank check question.
I didn't even realize that until right now. Yes, I am.
Okay, highest grossing of the year worldwide.
And I can't answer this because I know the answer. But
right. So I'm gonna say I'm trying to remember what other movies came out this year. So Doctor Strange.
That's one of them.
What number is it holding?
I think should you guess the numbers? The order?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not going to be able to do that. Okay. I'm just looking to try. I'm going to grasp for titles.
Okay, I would like you to try to guess number 1.
So it's too early for Avatar.
Yes, it's too early for Avatar. It might end up it probably won't.
Also, Avatar, the first Avatar wasn't huge No, it was huge worldwide. Yeah, never mind. So let's see. Is it Top Gun Maverick?
Yes. That's number 1. And Doctor Strange is number 3.
Number 3. Okay, so we have Maverick. We have Doctor Strange. We didn't have any Fast and Furious this year. Was there another Marvel? Is there another Marvel movie on this list? No, but there's another superhero, the Batman.
Nope.
Not one of the top 5.
Nope.
Wow. Nope? Is Nope on it?
Nope.
You keep saying nope. Okay. Is there another Marvel movie?
No.
Okay.
There is for domestic,
but not for worldwide.
Yeah.
Okay, so something's got to be animated, right? Encanto. That was last year.
Yep, not Encanto.
I
feel I misled you before about Avatar. I didn't.
Oh, Avatar is on there.
It's in the top 5. Yes.
Oh, okay. Already.
It's not number 1. It's too early to be number 1, but
that 3D really pays off, man. That 3D money really you can cash that 3D check.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got 3 out of the 5. I'm not going to be able to do this, Craig. I was missing for so much of the year.
Well, you've definitely seen another one of them.
Oh, I have. I want to pull up Letterboxd. Let's see. Let's give me some hints. I'm not going to be able to do it.
It's part of a series. It's a property. I know for a fact that you saw it in the theater.
Nope.
Jurassic World Dominion.
Oh, of course, Jurassic World Dominion.
We saw
2 movies in
we saw that together, and that would be at the very bottom of my list of movies of 2022.
It was not. Yep. I don't like to trash talk movies, but it's yeah.
Yeah, but it's okay. You can trash talk it because it's number 2 worldwide. So.
Oh, it did fine.
Yeah,
it did fine. The short film that came out prior to Dominion, way better movie than Jurassic World Dominion.
And then number 5, so it's number 1 Top Gun, number 2 Jurassic World, number 3 Doctor Strange, number 4 Avatar, and number 5 is an animated movie I never would have guessed. Minions: The Rise of Gru.
I don't like.
Yeah,
that's good for them.
Good for them.
Yep. And that's our 6 questions and our top 10 of the year.
That's it.
Although top 9 technically, because we overlapped on 1.
Yeah, we did. Only 1 though.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't expect you to have 3 of them on there. I was kind of pulling for the Fablemans though. Sad it didn't make your list.
It made my top 10, just not my top 5.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
I loved it. It was great. Thank you so much for joining us on Movied. This has been your Movied experience for 2022.
Yep, and we'll see you next week.
And scene. Movie.
Did you shower before this?
I did.
So you had to shower before this. That was the thing.
Yeah, because I was going to appear on camera.
I didn't shower. That's for sure.
Yeah, but your whole life is on camera, correct?
Yes. Yeah. That's sort of my vibe that I don't shower.
That's sort of my vibe.